Welcome to this video, which is titled Seeing the Unseen. You have seen my earlier videos on the thoughts of Rudolf Steiner, a great mystic. And today's video is also his understanding of the perception of the unseen dimension. Ordinary cognition is unable to penetrate into the supersensible worlds of human cognition. As it acts in everyday life and in ordinary science, is really so constituted that it cannot penetrate into the supersensible worlds. What he means by this is, if our senses can recognize and make meaning out of ordinary cognition, it is limited to the world where we are living within the ambit of space-time. This can be irrefutably proved, but this proof can have no more value for a certain kind of soul life than the proof that is undertaken to show that the natural human eye, with its power of perception, cannot penetrate into the smallest cells of a living body or into the constitution of distant celestial bodies. Both these require powerful instruments. Just as declaration is true and demonstrate that the ordinary power of sight does not penetrate as far as the cells, so also is this other statement correct and provable that ordinary cognition is unable to penetrate into the supersensible world. Yet the proof that the ordinary power of sight must stop short of the cells does not decide anything against research into the cells. We know this from today's science, how we can fathom the depth and constitution of human cells and plant cells. Why should this prove that ordinary power of cognition must halt the four supersensible worlds decides anything against the possibility of research into these worlds? Just as we are able to research and use instruments to go into the sensible world, so also there must be methods and tools available for penetrating the supersensible world. So what are the limitations of ordinary cognition? Steiner starts by asserting that every human cognition and scientific methods are inherently limited and cannot access supersensible worlds, which are realms beyond ordinary sensory or empirical perception. Next, comparison to ordinary vision. He makes an analogy between human cognition and vision, noting that just as human eye cannot see microscopic cells without aid, our cognitive abilities can't naturally grasp the supersensible realities. Then we come to provability of limitation. Both points, the limits of vision and cognition, are irrefutably proved, meaning that limitations are well established and demonstrable. What are the values of these limitations? Steiner argues that proving these limitations does not hold significant value for understanding or exploring the forms of soul life or consciousness. Then where are we now? This leaves the possibility of advanced investigation. He emphasizes that despite these limitations, it should not discourage efforts to explore or research deeper, more profound realms akin to how scientific tools extend the vision to study sense. So this gives us the encouragement for further research. Just as technological advances enable us to explore what ordinary senses cannot, Steiner suggests there might be ways to transcend ordinary cognition to access supersensible worlds. So here, Rudolf Steiner proposes several tools and practices to help individuals transcend ordinary cognition and access supersensible worlds. Here are some of the key methods. Meditation and contemplation. Regular practice of focused meditation and contemplation to train the mind to perceive spiritual realities. Development of imagination, inspiration, and intuition. These three are very vital. Cultivating these three stages of higher knowledge to enhance spiritual perception and understanding. Then we have moral development and inner work. Engaging in personal moral development to purify thoughts and intention, which is essential for genuine spiritual insight. And that leads us to concentration exercises. Practicing concentration exercises to strengthen the ability to focus inwardly and maintain attention on spiritual matters. This can be aided by study of spiritual science. Studying spiritual science or anthroposophy as outlined by Steiner to gain intellectual understanding of spiritual concept. This does not mean this is the only way. There are a number of methods through which we can now exercise of how to study the spiritual science. Artistic activities are very important. Creative artistic activities, actually, they evolve from a deeper level. Engaging in artistic activities like painting and music to stimulate the creative process and open mind to spiritual exercises. Then cultivation of reverence and devotion, because this is one of the very important steps for many of us who are not able to transcend to a deeper level of exercising, either through meditation or through science or through studying of scriptures. If we cannot go beyond the literal, then we need devotion. Developing a deep sense of reverence and devotion for spiritual world, which can facilitate access to higher knowledge. Then self-observation and reflection. This is the inward reflection. Regular self-observation and reflection to deepen self-awareness and understanding of one's inner spiritual life. And one of the best tools that is available is our ecosystem, engagement with nature. Spending time in nature to enhance the sensitivity to spiritual forces present in the natural world. This is why we have concepts like forest bathing or spiritual retreats in the wilderness. Community and shared practices. Participating in community services and activities or group work that focuses on spiritual development, encouraging collective growth and support. These practices, according to Steiner, can help individuals progressively attune their consciousness to perceive and engage with the supersensible worlds. Rudolf Steiner deeply conceptualized these steps in this arduous spiritual exercise through his own life practices. These are the things that I wanted to share with you. You can go through the transcript and maybe, copy it so that you can keep it as a guide for your spiritual life. Thank you for watching and listening, and have a great life.